Rants here at KNMC
90.1.
FM.
We nail that every time, don't we?
Do. All right. Well, we got the community calendar, which I should have been looking at before we got on.
We never come prepared,
Nope.
ever.
If we did, then it wouldn't be as fun.
Probably sound better.
Yeah, but who makes a radio show and prepares everything beforehand?
Everyone else but us.
And they're not called average rants.
Yeah, they're just being bought out.
We're gonna
by
start
Spotify for $1 billion. You know, whatever.
We're gonna start the new trend.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna be on like maybe Sirius XM soon.
Okay.
So let's see here. Well, we've got the Pepin Park program happening tomorrow from 9 a.m. till noon. That is, you've guessed it, at Pepin Park.
What?
And it's for it's for
The
kids.
Pepin Park program at Pepin Park.
Yeah, and it's for kids only. Adults can be there, but let the kids play the games. The Haber Dog Park has a board meeting at 6 p.m. on Monday. Everyone is welcome to that. I don't even know what would you talk about at a dog park meeting.
Dogs and parks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's easy enough.
Be interesting.
We have a few dog parks. We have one up by the hockey rink.
Yeah, I think that's the. Is there another one? Because I know that one just kind of got put in. Right?
Mm-hmm. I think most of them are dog. Well, I guess some of the parks are dog friendly, but
The others, we don't
yeah. Honestly, I see the no dogs allowed in all the parks signs, and all I see are dogs running around.
know. I mean, all I care about when you see like dogs in a park is people that are paying attention to their animal and cleaning up after it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to for me. I mean, I don't care if people have dogs running around and
It's not cool to
and
step in there.
playing, but you know, like we walk around with our dogs, and when we see people start coming to the park, you leash them up and don't let them run around crazy in case they get a little excited. They are still animals.
Mm-hmm. Yours are slightly crazy. Well, the one anyway.
I got one very crazy one. Oh man, Tuesday, August 10th. That's the Blue Horizon Senior Camping Club 3-day camping.
Woohoo! We're not
So-
senior citizens yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, but I want to go down and see what kind of party they're gonna have. Right? Like, be honest. Like, we've all had grandparents, and every time I remember you go over there and they'd be all kind. Like my grandma would get me, like cookies, and like she would always have treats there.
Huh?
And then when I hit around 20 years old, I remember going to, they had the Lions Club there in Ontario. And I went down there, and her and my grandpa were partying it up. And you thought they were 13 years old again, going nuts because, a little bit of the sauce.
A little of the sauce.
But yeah, so that's going to be going on. And if there's anybody interested to camp, you're welcome to call for info at 406-945-2022. Anything else here? Maybe we can just go with that. Everything's kind of repeat itself.
It repeats itself. It repeats itself. It repeats
All right.
itself.
Yeah.
Over.
So yeah, we decided to jump on just not too much earlier, just a little bit earlier, due to the fact that we realized we've been talking too much about things we should be waiting to go on air and talk about.
Yes. I mean, we don't pre-plan what we
No, so we were just like, hey, this is interesting, and then we start debating it.
Yeah. Debating it wouldn't sound as good.
Yeah, so we had to stop ourselves in the middle of conversations at least 4 or 5 times.
Oh.
What's up?
Nintendo's quarterly earnings show 89 million Switches were shipped as overall sales slow down. I'm sure they're hurting.
Well, those kind of things always kind of confuse me, where it's like they had like, so for let's say for like 1 year, any gaming system or anything is like, oh my goodness, sales were through the roof, and then it's like next year, wow, they're hitting a slump, sales are going down. Yeah, because everybody owns one.
Right. Like, what did I say? They sold 89 million of them. Right?
Yeah.
The Switch has been out for what, 3 years now?
Yeah, something like that.
3-4 years. So just say that on a down year, so you've been selling over 100 million every year. You've sold almost 400 million of those things. I mean, that the population of the United States is 330 million people. So,
Oh yeah, and I mean, not everyone in the world is gonna be able to use a Switch.
I don't feel bad for billionaire corporations
Oh,
that
right?
see it. Oh man, I feel terrible for you. No, why would I feel bad for someone who makes more money in a minute than I make in my lifetime?
It's true. It's sad. Wish we made more money. We have to do this for free.
Right?
I think this costs us money because we get snacks every time.
Yeah, but it's fun. It pays in what is it? Experience, right?
And stress
Life
relief.
experiences.
You know, we get to complain, and let's be honest, we can complain about whatever we want, and nobody can say anything to us until after the show.
There are a few subjects we don't touch because it's just safer that way. But
Yeah, I mean, there's something like, well, I mean, come on. There's subjects you and I will talk about it because we kind of have close to same views. But I'm not going to go up to somebody that I consider a friend and try to start an argument with a conversation. If I know they don't have the same view as me, why bring it up?
exactly. And then you can guess what? At the end of the day, you're still friends with them. And
Yeah.
if they bring it up casually, because you do have some friends that do that too, and you're like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this, man? Because you know how I feel,
You're opening that rabbit hole,
right?
and you're about to lose.
I'm going to hit you with some information, and it's going to hurt.
You won't believe this information, even though it's backed up.
Yeah, that's crazy. That especially now in the last few years, that people have been friends for years and years, but they have different views, and it's like, what?
Oh yeah, I
It's not worth
mean, I hate
Not
to
worth
say it, but I had to. I never unfriend people, but I do make so I don't get to see their posts anymore. And I did it with some things I even agreed on, just because I get so sick of the political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. It
I want to
doesn't
see pictures of your family, man. I
Right?
want to see what you're doing. Like, did you get drunk and play softball? Show pictures of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to see,
I wish that memes didn't exist.
I know.
Like
Right.
they just destroy people, especially because I've had times where, like I don't remember exactly what the post is, but I remember it's a picture and it looks like an Asian girl in the picture,
Mm.
and it says something along the lines of, people did something, and I can't really remember. I just remember writing back to the person that posted it. I'm like, how do you know that she's Asian? Maybe she was born in America and she
Right.
was raised in America, and her family has been here for years. And you're trying to say that she's from a third world country, or I was like, you don't know. It's just a random picture that you decided to throw up.
Yeah, you can Google that.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just drives me nuts when people do stuff like that. Or like recently, and I will say this one on here, is there was a picture that I saw get put up, and they were comparing the COVID deaths to the Holocaust. So the pictures for the meme in the back were of like people that were in World War II, and you know they did the lineups of the bodies in the ditch,
Right.
and they said something along the lines of "still not as bad as COVID," and you're just like, do you realize what those
Mhm.
pictures are that you're comparing to COVID?
Right.
And I just wanted to like slap that person because it's just
That's when you may unfriend for a while.
oh,
It's hard.
it just be knowledgeable enough to know what you're posting instead of it. Because I've had friends that they're like, oh, I didn't realize that that's what it was. I just thought it was funny. And I was like, do
Death-
research before
Death
you
is
post
not
something.
funny.
Like, ugh.
Not funny.
But yeah, I just brought up that I want to slap somebody. I mean, I bet you everybody can relate, no matter what your view is.
Right.
There's always been a post where you look at it, you're like, I just want to slap that person.
Yeah. And it's not hard anymore to make anything look legit.
Oh, I can do it.
Yeah.
I know
In
I
a
do graphic
matter.
design and stuff, but you give me 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I can make anything
matter of
look like it
seconds.
actually happened.
We've said it several times, though. Please don't use Facebook as a where you get your facts from.
Yeah, to me, Facebook is supposed to keep you in touch with family and friends, not post your political views. And it's gotten to the point for me, like, yeah.
So if you guys are listening to us right now, hoping to get real information,
oh yeah, we do not know. We know nothing.
we know nothing. We do not know.
We just our
We
whole
rant.
show is complaining like we would because we wanted to show our wives kind of what we talk about.
Well, we complain all the time, and the people always like, well, "What do you guys talk about?" Well, this is what we banter about anything.
Yeah, anything.
Anyone who's
Random.
listened to our show knows it's completely random, and most of the time it's like snore.
Well, and I mean, sometimes we'll be talking about like
We will go way off the
one
rails.
thing, and then all of a sudden it jumps to the opposite spectrum.
Yeah, we get kicked off the rails every now and again, but
Yeah. That's why we get messages randomly to say get to the point.
get to the point, right? Oh, so we did watch another conspiracy,
Oh yes, the royal family
and
or the firm.
the firm. For those of you who don't know who that is, this is the British royal family.
Yeah, they have the nickname the firm because they're such an organization of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I could be royal,
I feel royal, but I could never be royal.
right? Like I couldn't conduct myself in a royal fashion.
Oh yeah, we would probably be murdered by the royal family if we were found to be royal. Maybe that's why my family, back in the day, came to the Americas here.
Right. But apparently, according to the conspiracy theories that we seen on the show today, matter of fact, a couple hours ago, a couple of the members, two brothers, I can't remember, one George
Windsor?
with the Windsor brother. Well, I don't think they were Windsors. I think they adopted the name Windsor. They weren't actually British. This is how it gets
French.
weird.
It
They
was
were
French.
yet again another weird tie because they were French, but they weren't Windsors. Then they became Windsors, and then
Well, they decided what was it? It was they were French. One was a king, and they decided to adopt the name Windsor because they were actually really good friends with Germany,
right.
and they were kind of like allies. But then when World War
Two.
II happened, everyone was confused with their relationship to the point that they believed that I think it was Edward.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean,
We'd have to look up the name again.
yeah,
But Windsor.
They were Windsors, but anyway, one of the brothers, and they're trying to. They believe, these conspiracy theorists believe, that the former king of England, he was king for a couple of years, not for very long, was selling secrets to the Nazis on how to defeat the French.
But it wasn't while he was king.
No.
But he was going to be married, so he decided to.
Oh, to a mistress who had been divorced twice, and apparently, if you are a member of the royal family, that's
Can't be
just a no-go.
divorced.
Nope.
Can't be divorced once, so you're not allowed to marry someone.
Because then you're not allowed to go to political events.
I guarantee you, though, if the guy was divorced, it would be okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just yeah.
Yeah.
But and they have ties to the Nazi Party before the Nazis invaded Austria. Technically, which is pretty weird. Is it weird that Hitler invaded his own country first?
No, that's where your grudges are.
Right. Because like everyone's like, oh, he's a German. Hitler was not German.
He was probably like, I remember
He was
the boy
Austrian.
that picked on me.
Yeah, he was Austrian and rose to power and invaded his own country first. But the king and his brother were actually Nazi sympathizers. They were known to hang out with Hitler, be good friends with them. This is all before World War II, right?
Yeah.
So they're tying this together, and so Edward becomes king. I believe it was Edward. Yeah, it had to be Edward, Duke of something. And I don't remember how they got him out of being king.
Well, right, he
married. He had to choose. They're like, either you be king or you marry this chick who's been divorced twice. Well, where do you think he went?
Well, of course, every guy thinks with this big head.
Right. So he it's like done and done. All right, fine. I don't want to be king. And then shortly after that, World War II happens. And they put him on the defense line in the military. He was a major.
He patrolled the French lines to find
Weaknesses.
and report them, in which he did.
He did very well, apparently.
And he reported them, but then all of a sudden Germany
knew exactly where all these weaknesses were in their line.
The exact ones that he had reported. So to me, it was either they just were like, "Oh, thank you for letting us know. You don't know."
But
and then,
it said that he had a friend, a BFF, who was also a major member of the Nazi Party as well.
oh yeah, the unibrow guy.
Yeah, and so
That's all we know his name. I can't remember names. So
yeah,
unibrow guy.
unibrow dude. Very interesting. It's a series on Netflix. It's just, if you guys want to watch it, it's entertaining. But then they had a real historian on it. Not to see that this is where these conspiracy theories get me. They're all authors of books and stuff. They want to sell books.
Tell them about the hair. Come on.
Oh, it's not a conspiracy theory to say that everybody who's got a crazy conspiracy has even crazier hair.
Right?
Like, have you seen Ancient Aliens? Like, the dude on that show, his hair is ridiculous.
I feel like any show that you watch, you could sit there and be like, "Oh, he's the guy that knows." That guy right
You just
there.
got to look at his hair.
Yeah.
It's like all over, and it's
He's
crazy.
been working on this so much that he just puts his hand through his hair too much.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
So, but they had an actual historian go through this, and they're like, England and France should have been able to push back Germany easily. They ran it through computer simulations.
Yeah, they put it through
And they're like,
simulations since then,
Yeah, it should have never happened. How did the Germans know how to hit France so perfectly?
Oh yeah.
Now,
just so
I'm not
people
saying-
know,
I'm
it
not-
wasn't like one hole. It
No.
was like multiple locations
Right.
at the
Same time.
right time.
So either they were really good at infiltrating the French lines and knew this, or like in every other war, spies or misinformation got leaked.
Or body doubles.
But we're getting to that part. If you listened last week, wow, body doubles. And yet again, there were a bunch of
Yep,
body doubles again.
doubles.
So it was,
That's why Derek and I decided that we could be body doubles for each other.
Yeah, he's my body double. I'm his body double.
All I gotta do is put my hat on and glasses, and everybody think he'll me. They won't realize that you're like what, a foot taller than me.
30, 40 pounds heavier. So, I mean, who could tell?
Yeah, nobody.
You can grow a full beard. I cannot.
Oh yeah, that would be. Well, I can cut it and
Shave.
you can put some of it on.
The good news is we both have the silver streaks
Oh yeah,
going down the side.
I just have wings.
I cut my wings off.
Quicksilver, right?
Right. And then, so it gets deeper, right? The king, who he calls my brother, turns out. Now, I blew this one apart, I think, when we were watching it, because I looked at the map.
Oh, the plane crash.
Right. His brother dies mysteriously in a plane crash because he's supposedly flying to Iceland, right?
Yeah, to rally the troops.
Right? These conspiracy theorists believe no. He had a suitcase full of money, and he was going to go to Switzerland.
Well, the money was Swedish
Money.
francs, I think.
But no one can confirm or deny this. This is just hearsay. There's no evidence that says it was there.
Yeah, because I mean, who would actually just be like, "Oh my goodness! Oh, oh, look at this briefcase full of
Money, right? In a neutral country,
Yeah.
from a neutral country in the middle of a war.
Yeah, they're going to be like, we should report this and not take it.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, and so the plane is on the way to Iceland to rally the troops, but they believe it's on its way to Switzerland. Now, the plane crashes over Scotland. Now, me just being curious, I looked at a map. To get to Iceland from England, you have to fly northwest. Anybody who knows a little bit of geography knows that Switzerland is northeast. It's more east than north.
But I told you, it's because of
Britain.
the tailwind. They
Right.
had to go down, catch the wind to go up to Iceland to make it so everyone like, oh, there it goes.
They
it's going to
crashed.
Iceland.
They were if they were going to Switzerland, they were going the wrong direction.
And bad navigation.
Right. It is the 1940s. I get it. So that could I still don't buy it. I'm like, they were flying the wrong way. In a time when fuel was precious, like you had enough fuel to get you where you were going, and if you didn't make it, you ended up in a field in Scotland.
I see what you did there. Maybe that's what happened. They changed their mind and they're like, oh no, we forgot fuel is precious.
So I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't think that one's necessarily plausible, but
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps going because then it went on to talk about, well, the most tragic of our time, I guess.
yeah, I didn't read much. I mean, I was young, 97. I wasn't that young, but I'm a teen. I don't care, right?
Yeah, I just remember it being a big thing.
Oh, it was all over the TV. Like I remember, everyone who was a '90s kid knows who Princess Diana is, right? We've heard of her. She's the one who died in the crash.
But she was also the one that was going to be queen and actually divorced before it happened,
Right.
Because she was sick of dealing with it, and then became a huge humanitarian. And then
Such a terrible person helping people,
right? And then all of a sudden, car crash. She got into a car with a guy that was 3 times over the limit. How would you not know? He would have been like, "Hey, what's going on?"
right? So there might be some legitimacy to this conspiracy theory. Like if you or I are, we've done this before, out playing golf, and you are 3 times the legal limit,
Well,
would I let you drive home?
No.
I would call your wife and she would chew you out.
yeah.
Good thing you're only like 1 time over the legal limit.
I wasn't like that.
But yeah, and now the thing that they're like tying these weird sketches. This is where conspiracy theorists lose me. They get a little extreme.
Yeah.
There was a black motorcycle following them. Well, the MI6 agents had these motorcycles and they used them. I didn't quite catch what they were talking about that part, but and then there was a white sedan or white Fiat in front of them.
That one actually intrigued me because that was, oh man, I wish I could remember his name.
But apparently he had always been in the middle of every breaking scandal or something around the royal family.
Yeah, he was always there. So they believed that he was like somebody that worked for them
Mhm.
and caused some of the issues and disguised himself kind of as paparazzi. But what was it, 3 years after the Princess Diana thing, he was found, well, his car was found with
Different paint. It was he owned. It wasn't that car. He was found in his car without his keys. The doors were locked, and he was shot in the head twice, burned to a crisp.
yeah, to the point that he was ashes.
He's still alive, ladies and gentlemen. You can't identify ashes.
That's right.
Now it is possible to live through being shot in the head twice, but they said it was a suicide. And honestly, if you shoot yourself in the head once, would you really want to try again?
The thing, okay, let's say that you shot yourself in the head twice. You're probably finally dead.
How'd you start the car on fire?
That's right. Like, did he go, well, this isn't working?
I'm just gonna light
Well, because he'd be bleeding.
profusely.
He's like, why won't this match go? Because he's like bleeding.
The only other thing is, did he start the car on fire first? And like, he was in such a hurry to shoot himself in the head before he burned to death. He screwed up the first time and had to do it again.
Yeah, but like, so to me, nobody burns themselves alive.
No, that's the worst way to die.
It's like a protest.
It is absolutely.
The monks were doing.
Yeah, I know those guys were.
But nobody does because it's one of the worst ways.
It's the most painful way to die.
Yeah, and so was he like, oh, let's start on fire, and then I'll kill myself? But usually, if there's a fire involved in a death, somebody who's trying to hide something. That's the way I always look at it.
Right, and that fire got so hot it turned the car. I mean, everything into ash. Like,
Yeah.
Did he douse himself in gasoline to get that thing going? I mean, like, cars will burn. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I think the weird thing too for me was
a fire started from the inside, not necessarily going to make the car burst into blow up, because you got to get through the gas lines, and that's what I'm.
Well, even that. I mean, movies show cars blowing up, but they don't just blow up.
Yeah, and by the way, the doors were locked, and there were no car keys.
Well, I told
So
you.
who would take
He took the keys and like chucked them.
out the window?
Yeah, like way into the woods so far that nobody would investigate.
I lost my keys. That's over.
Yeah, but then he closed the door and then he locked them from the inside,
Right.
just to cause confusion.
Right. Why would you lock the doors?
I don't know. If you're gonna kill yourself, you don't care about the small details.
Right. Wonder if you left a note
Yeah, in the car.
in the car.
Yeah, that's why it was burned.
Right.
He's like, I'm gonna write, and then that's why he was like, oh no, I messed up big time.
Right.
The guy that was great for taking news stories didn't know how to make news for his own story. But I don't know. I think that stuff is just always kind of like it's fun to have conspiracies and to think about them, because I guarantee you that for some of these that we're like, these guys are yoo-hoos, parts of their story could ring true without you realizing it.
But sometimes they go a little too far, and then they literally talk you out of what they've already talked you into.
Well, like the one where it was like, it was a body double for that guy's wife. And
Right.
It was because she was in a polka dot shirt outfit. And then there were photos found of another girl.
We
that looked
forgot
exactly
about
like
the
her.
illegitimate heir to the throne
yeah.
because of the. So, and also in there, there's this guy who believes he's a member of the royal family. But unfortunately, all death records are apparently public record, I believe.
No, so all wills. So if
All
somebody
wills.
is to die, like if you were to die right now, your will, I could go look at.
Right. But in England, in the royal family, since 1911 or something like that, because there was a guy left all of his stuff to his mistress.
Well, his jewels.
Yeah.
The jewels were left to the
Mistress.
So the royal family went, locked up his will, went to the mistress' house, and took it all back.
Yeah, right. So from then on, now all of the royal family, all who have passed, their wills, the minute they die, go to a judge and they are sealed, and no one can look at them.
Yeah, that's very sketchy.
That is sketchy, like crazy sketchy.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until we were watching this stuff.
But we also pointed out that if Diana was going to be queen, she's been waiting a while.
Oh yeah,
She passed in
Well, we
1997.
talked about it. So we decided to start our own conspiracy. And we believe that the queen died a long time ago, and these
Right.
are all body doubles.
These are all body doubles because they keep using body doubles.
Well, because she hasn't gotten any older anymore.
Right?
She stayed like the same age. So it's body doubles.
They must be body doubling her dogs too.
Oh,
The corgis.
Well, that's easier because nobody.
You can
pays
just paint those
attention.
things.
Yeah. Like, it's got a dot on its nose.
A little bit of paint. But the illegitimate heir believes that he is a member of the royal family and they don't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
So his was thin.
Yeah, well, but I kind of wanted to be like, it'd be funny if in the end you could find out if he's like, I finally got access to the will. I was wrong. There's nothing in there about me.
These guys are messed up.
Yeah,
I don't
so
want to be here anymore, guys. This is weird.
And then he'd go missing.
Right.
Just be gone in a car that was locked and burnt.
Without the keys.
Yeah, like I don't think the people listening really understand the danger we're putting ourselves into.
By exposing nothing.
Well, they might be listening, be like, "You talking about us?" Like, I'm Canadian. They keep tabs on Canadians, so I mean, we're kind of in with the royal family still up there a little bit.
It's a little bit.
Yeah,
You guys should have kept the hats. I'm just saying.
you should have kept the beaver hats.
Yep, those big giant fro hats. Those things are awesome.
There's the guard, the royal guard.
The Royal Guard. But apparently, I've known guys that have gone over there, and people try and mess up. Those guys are good. Like, they don't move.
You want to make them move?
Or try and get through where they're guarding. Snake fast.
Have you seen that video where there's the people are taking pictures,
Mhm.
and then a guy goes and touches his hat, and he knocks over, he's like, "You don't touch!" And he just like screams at him, and he's like standing over top, and then he goes back to marching like nothing happened. I was like,
I'm just talking about the dudes that got to stand for like 4 hours. They're just like statues. You're like,
well, you've seen me. I can't sit still for 2 minutes.
no, you're constantly turning or rocking or
I can't sit still. I'm ready to go.
you are ready to roll.
No, I got to dip, dive, duck, and dodge at any moment.
Yes, you do. Dodgeball. But yeah, that was this week's conspiracy. I mean, yeah, I for all of you listeners out there who still listen to the radio, obviously you were probably alive because you're listening to the radio. No one does that anymore.
Yeah.
When Diana passed, that was crazy.
I remember watching the footage of her like entering the tunnel and then not coming out the other side because of the accident.
And it was in France. What is it with England and France? Like they've been enemies forever.
Well, I mean, you look at history and
It's always been England and France. Like they're
it's like everything. It's always a battle of power. And I mean, even the United States does it. You have to be the strongest power. You're nobody, and you go to even smaller countries. I bet you go in there, and none of them are like, "Yeah, we're weaker." No, they go, "We are the best. We can do this. We can," because everybody is striving.
What was
for more
really
power.
funny about that, and when this is going back to the first conspiracy theory, is that they didn't want that king to be involved in World War II so much.
Oh,
They sent him to Bermuda. Like, hey, go on vacation, dude.
Yeah.
You could be the king of this island that no one cares about.
Yeah.
They basically Napoleon the poor guy.
And
I don't know if he's a poor
but
guy.
then
I mean,
when that was done, though, he was never.
yeah, when he got done, he was never a major part of anything.
No, he just was a normal person, I guess, from that point on. But then when he died,
You got the full royal
they
treatment.
gave him the full and even let his wife, which had 2 divorces,
Mm-hmm.
come and be a part of the royal family funeral,
Mm-hmm.
which confused me because why would you let them in the end join?
Yep. Craziness.
Yeah, I tell you, conspiracies just hurt my head. Well, because I hate the thing that I like and hate about them is that sometimes you hear one and you're like, that makes sense. Should I grow my hair crazy now because I'm turning crazy? Or is this actually something that could make sense? But then you hear the ones where you're like, what's wrong with you? Like the polka dot dress thing.
That made no sense.
Because, Sammy pointed out.
Yeah, that there's more than one person that probably own it because, especially now, fashion is literally run by celebrities, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like if a celebrity's running around and wearing nothing but duct tape becomes the new fad.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I always thought that my friends and I, we called ourselves the Fern Gussies. I don't know why.
The what?
Yeah, Fern Gussies.
What's a fern gussie?
It was us. I don't know how it came along, but we decided we wanted to wear funky button-up shirts over top of t-shirts. And I always thought it was something we started, right? And then eventually I found out that Friends, Joey, wore it in an episode and it became a fad around the same time. I was like, damn it.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, TV shows, celebrities,
Royalty, they all influence
they wear
fashion.
weird, funky hat. You're going to see some rich people wearing some weird, funky hats a couple days later. So, I mean, there's no way. And I mean, guaranteed, there's people out
You
there.
remember, what was the name? It was a really, who was it? It was a kid. He started wearing his clothes inside out, so people thought it was cool.
Don't know. But I think we should start it up again.
I only put my clothes on inside out if it's dark in the room and I can't tell.
For me, it depends how much
I mean, I've gotten to work before and I went,
oh, don't you hate that?
my shirt's inside out.
I hate it when you're folding your laundry and you're putting it away, and sometimes when I get talking while I'm doing it, I don't realize that I didn't pull one back from inside out. So then, in the middle when you're going and you're doing something in the morning and you don't want to turn the lights on, put it on and then you're out.
I think I remember you actually came to a hockey practice this last year at like 6 a.m. I'm like, dude, why is your shirt inside out? You're like, what? Oh well.
That's when I take it off. It'll go back the right side.
Right? Because you literally crawl out of bed, pour yourself a coffee, and you're out the door.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be there at 6, so you're rolling out of bed at 5:50.
Well, 5:55. That gives me time for coffee.
Right.
Because you're like, why are you late? No reason. Man, I still remember Ryan messaging me, where are you? I'm like, I'm on my way. And I was like, I'm just getting up, man. I'm just getting up.
Yep. So there's this week's conspiracies. The royal family. The firm, as they would put it.
Yeah, that's right. Coming to a theater near you. The Firm.
No wonder why they never made a movie about it. They keep squashing it.
All right, let's get some music going here.
Music.
Here we go.
So yeah, how to. see if I can find something. I've got stuff lined up. I just want to see if I can find anything else. It's all vaccine stuff, and I don't want to talk about that.
Sammy said he just said this.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
God, smart people in their research.
I never said it was impossible for somebody to shoot themselves in the head twice. What I'm saying is it's pretty rare, and why would you want to do it a second time?
What are the odds that it happens to a guy that is involved with a lot of crazy
Right.
stuff?
That's that. I mean, the circumstances behind that were just made that way, way crazy. So while I do agree it is possible to survive being shot in the head, definitely happens. But why would you do it to yourself twice?
I don't know. I feel like if you shot yourself in the head and you survived, you should go, maybe I'm not supposed to do this.
That happens a lot. Like, really, I mean, like, I know a guy, not real well. I'd met him like once or twice. He came down hunting with my cousins. He was in his car, and he had it, right? And he was going to blow off the end of this cliff. Well, he took off. The car died, and it rolled to a stop right before it went over the edge. And he took that as I'm not supposed to.
That's why I like, at least for Canada's point of view with suicides, and I know this is going to touch on gun control crap, but if you limit the ease of access to quick offs, it gives people time to think about it.
Right. And
most people that want to commit suicide, the ones that pull it off, have easy access so they can do it quick, or they decide not to and then seek help because they had the thought.
Mm.
And the ones that do that are usually there wasn't that ease of access. They had to search it out.
It's a dark subject.
It is. Let's go back to Pokemon.
Pokemon. Science. Nothing but bad news in the news. What are you laughing about now?
He's like, I could talk about my response to all her murder shows and the conversation we're having today. That's pretty dark.
Apparently, the Babylonians were using the Pythagorean theorem 1,000 years before it was invented in ancient Greece. I don't remember what theorem is the Pythagorean theorem?
The Pythagorean theorem? How do you not know what that is?
You don't know what it is. You're Googling
it's ridiculous.
it. You're Googling it because you don't know.
What is the Pythagorean theorem? It's clearly like C equals the square root of a squared plus b squared.
Oh, it's a squared plus b squared equals c. So the equilateral triangle type thing.
Yeah. Like, how would you not know this?
Because I learned a lot of theorems. What am I looking at here?
I don't know.
August is National Golf Month.
Why didn't we go? I told you we should have went today.
Just saying.
But instead, I'm going to cut my grass.
It's also, I had to cut my grass. It is also National Picnic Month.
You're just looking at all what the month it is.
Well, it's
when did this happen? When did we start having things for months?
Oh, it's well. Remember what I told you last week was, right?
Yes.
We celebrated that.
We can say that. It's just on the.
I know, but I'm just saying.
We
celebrated into the next day. Took it to the next level. It's National Immunization Awareness Month. National Eye Exam Month. My eyes are great. Coloring Book Day. That's on the 2nd of August, which is gone. Dang, we missed it.
Well, now I feel gypped.
Right.
Where was Amanda on that one?
Oh, we screwed up. We missed the 6th, too, which is International Beer Day.
I'm pretty sure that we probably would have done that.
Yeah, had we known, because it was a Friday night, too.
We might have. Did we do it randomly without knowing it?
No. What did we do Friday? We didn't do anything Friday, did we?
I can't remember.
No, my kid. You had to go to Rock Lotto, yo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
International. Okay, today's a crappy day. It's International Cat Day. No one likes cats.
I have a cat.
Yeah,
Two
but do you
cats.
like your cat?
I do. They're annoying, but I do. Especially when they're like,
Oh, we could rock the 15th. It's National Relaxation Day.
done.
Nailed it.
We're gonna get a golf cart that day.
Right? So, yeah. Well, anyway, Shiny Tablet says the Babylonians were smarter than the Greeks.
Well, now we're starting another war.
Right? Oh, man. I mean, how do you feel about advertisements as already?
Advertising.
Like on your games.
I hate it. It
Right.
makes me not want to buy the product.
SpaceX and a Canadian startup plan to launch a satellite that will beam adverts into space. So we're going to bug the crap out of the aliens as well. Anyone can buy pixels on the satellite screen with Dogecoin. I don't know what Dogecoin is.
I don't know, but I threw you back on the radio the middle of your sentence.
Oh, I did see that. That's a fun story that your wife brought up, but I didn't read the whole story. Apparently, a dude got duct taped to his seat because he was being so
Oh yeah, the belligerent guy.
belligerent on a plane, so they duct taped him to his seat.
Yeah.
Duct tape, I tell you, it's got 101 uses.
Right. And like when he did it, the people on the plane applauded.
So, no matter what this guy's story is, he's got a plane full of people going, yeah, you needed to be duct taped. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he could file charges, but I'm still.
Well, I mean, from my understanding, the plane was in the air,
Yeah.
so there wasn't much that they could do. What are you supposed to do if you have a guy that's going crazy?
Yeah, he was groping one of the flight attendants, apparently.
And then,
He's
like,
lucky that's all he got was duct
told him to
tape.
stop, and he kept doing it.
Why can't people be decent to other people?
Because I would say 20% of the human race are bad people.
Well, you're lowballing that, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I think for the most part, most people are. Well, it's kind of for me, it's kind of hit or miss. It's to everybody's face, everybody is usually a genuine person.
Right.
It's as soon as the people that they want to hurt are out of the room. Because I mean, you look at corporations, and I don't think there's a corporation in this world that is like in the billions that hasn't destroyed somebody
Oh, yeah.
to get there.
Right.
And they might have done it on accident without realizing it, but they've destroyed something.
Mhm.
You know, you look at like Amazon. How many mom and pop shops?
Oh,
Have went out of
the
business.
modern bookstore is dead. Like, there is, like, even before Amazon became what it is now, his selling books online in a digital fashion literally killed the bookstore.
Well, and that could bring us into that we were talking about movie theaters.
Right. Well, and on the way here, we had to stop at the library,
Mhm.
right? Or not. We were on the way to store earlier, and I'm like, who goes to get a book at a library anymore? I mean, because you have access to on any digital device, you can get a book.
You know, we still are teaching our daughter our older ways.
We still get them. We get them in the mail though. So
Well, we have that too. We just the library, which people don't realize for kids, actually does a lot of good promotion stuff. So like we were a part of this thing where you tracked how many minutes she was reading and then put her into draws for toys.
that's cool. Well, I know Aurora, like, she would, for school, you write down when and how many minutes and all that stuff she read, and then for every time we did this, she got entered into a drawing for different things, and she would get like pizzas and stuff like that. No, reading it. I want people to read more. I'm just saying, like, the library. It's leaving. It's everything's digital.
It is. It's starting to. I mean, technology is taking over everything,
And
it's the ease of it. So, the joy that people have with a lot of things, like back in the day, I remember you would go to the store, and you'd be happy to pick up that chocolate bar and have it right then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people don't need that. They don't need it right now if they can save 10 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I do it. I sit there, or it'll be like you go to the store, and I remember you go to the store and you go, you know what, I want an orange Gatorade. They don't have any orange Gatorade at that store. So then you don't have to be like, all right, I guess I'll get red or whatever. But now you're like, they don't have any orange. Well, pull out your phone, order it, and you'll have it in a couple days.
Yeah. And to get back to the movie theater thing, like I was reading some stories earlier that like a lot of the movies, like I know Disney's released The Black Widow, and then DC just released the redone revision Suicide Squad movie. And they're noticing a dip in week 2 of these movies. It's like, well, I think COVID has pretty much proven that we don't need movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. Well, and a lot of those companies still wanted to make money off the movies they made. So they found that selling them online for
the same price.
So like $30. You look at, I was talking to you about this a little bit before, on Disney Plus, you pay $30 to be able to watch that movie 2 months in advance before it would be free.
People do it.
Well,
I'm guilty as
think
anyone.
about it, though. You have your wife, 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
How much would that cost you to go
in a movie theater? $30.
And now
Easy.
you can watch that movie 7 times, 20 times.
100 times, however many times you want,
right?
At
and
home.
you don't have to pay again.
Right.
So, like for my wife and I, that's a little bit much because we probably wouldn't go to the movie theater anyway.
Right.
But I mean, if for families that have a large amount or wanted more friends to come,
And don't get me wrong, I get it. Like there are certain theaters that you go there for the experience because
Yes.
there are some like IMAX theaters and 4DX and all that stuff. I mean, these are fantastic. But I'm talking your basic standard movie theater, which is what the majority of the population go to anymore.
well, I know like here in Havre, like it's like a date night here.
Yeah.
Right. There's not a whole lot that you can do in a smaller town. So I mean, having a movie theater here is kind of nice because you can do it as like a fun
Right.
outing. But in a big city, which I've lived in a bunch of them.
But the bonus to being able to get a brand new movie as it's come out digitally at home, if I've got to go to the bathroom, I'm not going to miss 5 minutes of the movie because I can pause it, right? I can get up, I can go get a drink, I can go to the bathroom, I can do what I need. I can put my kid to sleep if he's being a little butthead, which is 99% usually the case.
Yeah.
You know, he's a little crazy. But
Kids after his parents.
we're right. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to see movie theaters disappear, but I don't think they're going to have a very good. I think the movie world is going to be like, you know, why do we need? I mean, it is cheaper. Why do we have to spend money on film now, right? Because we have to send this like because some use film projectors. A lot of them are digital, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way the world is, and people have to understand. Like look at us. We had cassette tapes, and then within a couple of years of us just having those, it was CDs, and then within a couple of years of having CDs, it was
digital.
Yeah, like all digital. Like our age has went through crazy change, and it's easier for us to accept it because I think it's happened
So much. Like, I mean,
but you get like the older generation, like my grandparents, they hate it
right,
because they were with Amtrak for how long
right.
before a CD came along, like a tape came along,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going through rapid change. And I mean,
Did you say Amtrak?
Yeah, I did.
You did. I'm like, trains?
Yeah,
You mean 8-track?
8-track.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
I remember my grandma had one in her car. It was like you pushed it in.
In some really high-end vehicles in the 70s and early 80s, they had actual like fold-out record players in their cars, so they could listen to records while they were cruising down. I mean, it's just crazy. I couldn't imagine that.
Oh no,
Oh, I don't. Maybe that's for you
yeah, that was.
because it doesn't make any sense to me.
My
But-
friend was doing. I forgot about that. We made a fake. It was like a fake intro to a trailer, but it was his proposal that was played at the start of a movie.
Oh, yeah. So, but that I mean, I don't want to see theaters go, but I don't it's not looking good. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at Blockbuster.
There's still one clinging to life.
Yeah, but now
But it's digital. It's weird.
well, no, they because they have it and they actually let you rent it out as a room, and you can go in there and watch any movie on the shelf.
I can't. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't even think it's gonna ever come up. But like, my kid's gonna ask, Dad, how did you watch a movie when you were younger? I'm like, oh, we went to the video store. What do you mean you went to you just didn't turn on your TV and scroll through the movies that were on? I'm like, no, you had to get in your car, drive to the video store, and you pick the video off the shelf, and and brought it home for a day, but you had to take it back and make sure to rewind it.
You argued with your sibling when your parents said you guys can pick one, but you have to both decide.
Yep. Yeah. So, in video games, I mean, you could rent consoles.
Oh yeah, I used to do that.
Oh, we always used to do that, and then we found out, if we got jobs, we could just buy a console. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know nowadays with stuff like that. So I remember I used to rent consoles, and it was like $20 for the weekend or something.
And you got a game
and
or
then
two
you got
games?
one game, and then you'd have to rent other ones, but they were usually like $1 a day or something.
Yeah.
And now, I guarantee if I went in, if they had something like that, and I went to go rent, say, a PS5, you're looking at probably $50.
Oh, there's no way, because they would lose terribly.
It would just probably go away. Somebody'd take it.
I mean, because I remember when we would go get the PlayStations, right? On the PlayStation, there would be a note taped to the top of it telling you how to place it on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
On its side, its left side or right side, on its top. This console will only play if you play it upside down.
Yeah.
It will only our kids will never know what it's like to blow inside of a game cartridge to make sure it works.
You know what I do miss about rental stores, though? And I mean, this is going to make me sound like a criminal, but
don't worry. This is going to take me into my next topic. This movie rental thing is kind of weird.
I remember I went to a buddy's and I had brought my Xbox, and it was laying flat, and we were playing, I think it was Call of Duty, and my other friend, he just came in the room. He's like, "Oh, you guys have it on the wrong thing," and he set it up sideways while we were playing, and scratched the CD.
Oh.
Right, because he moved it while we were playing it.
Oh, was that the PlayStation 2?
No, it was the Xbox.
Oh.
360.
No. Oh, he turned it on its...
You could have it on its side.
Yes, but they recommended that when you had it, if you left it one way, leave it that way.
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, you put it this way," but we were already playing, so the CD was spinning as he... And you just heard it go... And we're like, "Oh, no, what do we do?" And my buddy's like, "We could go rent a copy and just put the broken one in it." It's like, let's do it. And so we rented it. We took it back. We waited like an hour or so. We came back. We're like, the CD isn't working. And they're like, "Oh, man, this got scratched. Who did this?"
And now you're going to be arrested.
No, that's past, what is it? There's a certain amount of years that you can't be charged anymore.
Right. So that movie theaters and we're going to get movies actually revolves around one of my favorite movies of all time, written by Kevin Smith, Clerks, because he worked at the movie store. And so he wrote Clerks based on his experience. But Clerks 3 is coming out. He's filming it now. Right?
I remember when they made the second one, and I was like, why?
Right. You watched it.
I did.
Right.
That's because it's Kevin Smith.
It's
I like Jay Silent Bob.
I do. I like both their movies. But Kevin Smith has and this is going to play into our hockey as well. So sorry, wives. We're going to start talking
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Kevin Smith had an odd request. He is trying to get a hold of the San Jose Sharks hat that Jay wore throughout the entire movie in Clerks 1. I never realized he was actually wearing a San Jose Sharks hat. And I find this
because he wears it backwards.
Right.
So.
And here's the funny thing, though, because many people may not know this, but Kevin Smith is actually a diehard New Jersey Devils hockey fan.
Yeah.
Because they grew up in Jersey. Hence his movie, Jersey Girl. But he was trying, he was calling, and he couldn't get any response. So what he ended up doing is he sent out a tweet at the San Jose Sharks in hopes of getting permission to use the hat again in Clerks 3. Apparently, he was answered by Jonathan Beecher, the president of the San Jose Sharks, who saw the tweet and responded with "We've got you." Before adding his throwback quote, I just like to point out that I wasn't even supposed to be here today, though. So that's kind of cool. And they do have a picture of Jason Mewes wearing the San Jose Sharks hat in the original movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess because it doesn't have the Sharks symbol. It just says
Sharks, right? Like, because it's trademarked and they don't make that hat anymore. Like, when I dressed up as you for this last Halloween,
that was awesome.
it was so hard because you found that jersey in like a Walmart somewhere 20
right.
years ago or something like that.
Hockey Band is trademark original.
Right. And so we had to find the closest thing, which was an Olympic hockey jersey from God knows how long ago. It was obviously hung up on some dude's wall forever because the red had faded on one side so bad. Still have it in a hockey bag. But
I told you, if Amanda would have just gotten a hold of Sammy, she would have given
right,
him
we thought about that, but we didn't want you to somehow find out regardless, right?
I still thought it was funny when I walked in. I was like, why do I know that? I was so confused. I was like, he's just a hockey player. But I was like, it looked familiar.
But anyway, the plot of Clerks 3 centers on Randall, one of my favorite characters in the Clerks movies, is bouncing back from a heart attack. So Smith, yet again, is kind of putting his own life experiences back into Clerks.
Yeah.
Because he bounced back from his heart attack. He's completely vegan now. He's lost like 60 pounds.
Oh, yeah, he's tiny.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, he was actually thrown off of a flight because he couldn't fit in the seats. And yeah, so Clerks 3.
Should be interesting.
I just recently popped on, what was I watching? Mallrats.
Oh, yeah.
And I pointed out, like, I never really noticed it before, but every time you look at a mall, they all look the same. They just have a different name on them. Like the building and the structures and how they're built and the way they look are all identical. They're just, either a little bit bigger or smaller. But you look at the building, you go, it's a mall. Like, even if you take all the signs off, you're like, it's a mall.
Well, it's because architect Johann Mall. It sounded somewhat like a right name.
It's French, Johann Mall.
Yeah, Johann Mall.
But yeah.
I mean, I hope everybody has been enjoying listening to Average Rants here at KNMC
90.1
FM. Where, we just talk about whatever and we don't know nothing.
We know nothing.
It is close to the top of the hour. So
but it is raining outside.
Is
and
it raining?
it's not 95 degrees outside for the first time in.
Is it raining?
Well,
it is raining.
I mean, for the first time in 2 months, it's not 95 degrees outside.
Yeah, I wanted to go golfing. Somebody had to put the lawn.
Because it was going to rain today.
I told you I would have cut your lawn tomorrow when it wasn't raining.
You wouldn't cut it right.
How do you cut the grass wrong?
Read the.
It's because you can't. The only way you can screw up is if you don't cut the lawn.
You have 2 inches of lawn to cut at your house because the rest of it's dead.
Yeah, but we ordered new sprinkler heads.
So you're gonna have 4 inches of lawn to cut?
Yeah. Man, so the parts that are green, they're growing.
They're tall, aren't they?
All right, we got the Pep Park. We got the Pep and Park program happening tomorrow on the 9th there, from 9 a.m. to noon. That is for children, and it is, guess what, at Pep and Park. In case anybody was confused. The Have Our Dog Park board meeting is happening at 6 p.m. The North Central hangar of the Montana's Pilots Association monthly meeting is at 7:30 p.m. At the Terminal Havercity County Airport. Oh, I didn't say this last time. Story time is happening. That is on the Haverhill County Library Facebook page at 10:15 a.m. tomorrow. And there's a lot of different swims happening. So get a hold of the pool here and figure out what kind of swim you want to do. Looks like they got like lap swims, fitness swims, aqua exercise. I would just like the lazy river, but I don't think that that's a thing here.
Sorry, I wasn't listening, honestly.
You never listen to the community calendar.
That's your job.
I know. The Blue Horizon Senior Camping Club 3-day camp out. Yeah, you're listening to this one now, aren't you? Yeah, that is going to be happening on Tuesday, August 10th. For info, call 406-945-2022. And I've said this every time I read that. I feel like it's going to be a crazy party.
Party.
You
done yet?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I mean, I don't have to hit everything. If I did, we'd be here for like another 5 minutes.
I know, right? Like anybody wants to listen to us for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, nobody.
So closing ceremonies are this today or yesterday? Were they today?
Okay, we're talking about Olympics.
Right.
I am so confused with some of these sports that they're letting in there now. Like,
what do you got? It sounds like you want to go on something here.
Well, I just found out that they have like the horse stuff as the Olympic sport.
Yeah.
But I was so confused because I'm like, the horse does the Olympic thing. The person just rides them.
Right. Well, it's not easy to ride a horse.
Yeah, but come on.
Come on. Like, have you ever ridden a horse?
Yes.
It's not very comfortable for
I'm
one.
terrified of horses, and I've ridden a horse.
They're very big and unpredictable.
But the thing that I was just so confused with, like almost every Olympic sport that I have ever seen has been a person performing something using themselves. When you get into an Olympic sport of using an animal,
Mm-hmm.
that animal is in better shape than the person. So it's like, what's next? Are they going to do NASCAR? Is NASCAR going to become an Olympic sport?
I have a tough time thinking NASCAR is even a sport.
But you know what I mean? Like that's
And I've been
something
crucified for this before, but I'm sorry. Like they go one direction. And then people are like, oh no, they have one road course. I'm like, okay, so they make one right turn like once a year.
The thing that I ask people that are really big into NASCAR, I'm like, what's the most exciting part of the sport? And they all say the crash. So I was like, that's all you're watching it for.
Which is kind of sadistic if you ask me, because people die or catch fire or get severely maimed and injured. And people think that like ancient people were barbaric. We're still the same. They would get together in the Colosseum, watch people kill each other. We still do it. Yeah. Boxing, MMA, and rodeo. I always root for the bull. Why? Because the person on the back shouldn't be there. Okay, right? Like,
well, and I mean, hockey is very much like you're in the middle of.
No, it's not as barbaric as it once was. I mean, like dudes would like just full on beat the crap out of each other, but they're competing in an actual event. But when a lot of people stop watching the hockey for the fights, that's very few and far between. People won't stop watching NASCAR because of the crashes, because the crashes are always going to happen, right?
Yeah.
You're doing 200 miles an hour doing left turns, somebody's going to crash at some point.
Yeah, somebody's going to want to turn right. Have it.
Just to mess with people, I would start going the other way. Like that would make it way more interesting quickly. But then that jumps into the whole sadistic, like, why? The people are going to hurt, maimed, and oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just like, well, because like when I think with the in the Olympics, they're having horse riding is. I still don't feel like it.
No,
I feel like it's a sport that you can do rodeo and that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that it isn't 1%.
Rodeo is 100% hardcore a sport. It was a sport invented by a bunch of dudes sitting on a fence, staring at a horse or a cow, drinking a buttload of beer, going, "I can do that."
I mean, I did that.
Right? Like, it's just, hey, Bill, I bet I could stay on that horse longer than you. After you smack it in the face. Like, yeah, I guarantee you that's how it happened. And then people are like, you know what? We could turn this into a sport.
I don't know.
Then one guy's got up, he's like, oh, yeah? Well, I'll sit on that bull. And I'm like, you go ahead.
And they did it. And he was like, I could do it for longer than you.
Yeah. And they decided like 10 seconds is way too long.
Yeah. 10
5 is not enough, so 8 seconds.
And Jerry got too many concussions in 10 seconds. So
right, oh man, I got nothing but respect for those guys that do that. I mean, it takes a lot.
I do feel a little bit bad for the bull though, because usually they use the testicle snap,
Oh,
right?
that would get me going.
Yeah, I would go nuts.
But back to the Olympics, the U.S. won the medal count. Oddly enough, I didn't see Canada in the top 10.
Yeah, but we won soccer.
Did you win soccer?
We won women's soccer in the shootout.
Woo! Way to go.
I didn't even know we had a team in the Olympics.
China got second, and I don't know who got third because I don't want to read that much. But while we're on the topic of the Olympics, I pointed out a story while you and I were waiting to go on the air that kind of irked us both a little bit. The French marathon runner who during the Olympics was intentionally, because they have water stations set up for the competitors.
Run by, grab
water. You know, they don't stop. They just grab. And you could clearly see in the video him stick out his arm and just domino effect all of the waters except for one, which he scoops up and drinks on his own and just keeps chugging along.
Well, and this too, like, so people can get a vision of it. It wasn't, because I watched it before, it wasn't like he was way ahead of the pack or something. He was in the mix of people. So there was people behind him reaching to get the water bottles as they were being fallen over. You could tell they couldn't get them because they were all over the place.
Right. And
then you had the Olympic people that were watching the station trying to catch them all to put them back up because they were in a panic that they couldn't believe it.
Like this. And here's the thing: the guy wasn't in any contention to win a medal or anything like that. He didn't win anything. Honestly, if he had, this could be I'm not on the Olympic committee, but that's cheating. Like, it's out there for safety reasons, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, you're running a marathon. A marathon's 26 point some odd mile. It's a long ways, right?
Yeah.
And you're running.
And they don't want people getting dehydrated and passing out.
Right.
And
the Olympics is supposed to be representing your country, which, if that's representing your country, you are can't use that word. You're a jerk. Like
mouthing.
Oh, it was gonna come. But I mean, you're an absolute jerk. Like you represent France as a whole, and are all people like no, like that's terrible.
Well, this is like one of the things.
You're sabotaging other people on purpose.
I haven't seen something like that happen before.
You don't remember Nancy Kerrigan? The figure skater who got the bat to the legs?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That was a good one. But I mean, this goes to show you that, because I mean, these are always the bad things. There are a lot of good things that happen. Like people, in a marathon, I've seen it where they collapsed and
they carry each other over the line. Yeah, we see that all the time.
Right, and we don't focus on that kind of stuff too much. But at the same time, that's what the Olympics is for. It's supposed to be sportsmanship, competitiveness. The best of the best, and if you feel like you have to ruin somebody's day to become the best, then you are not competing in the proper.
Just think, if that dude had actually medaled.
Oh, they would have taken it from him. They would have stripped it from him right away.
I mean that's terrible. Like, they can't. I mean, you look at the video, you know he did it on purpose, but you know he's sitting up there going, "I didn't mean to."
Oh, yeah.
And it just somehow happened to be the very last bottle in line that I managed to get a hold of as I was scooping them off.
So if you were trying to grab one,
you close your hand.
You close your hand. He just keeps it open like he's high-fiving.
And the last one is like, "Watch, I got it."
He was like, "I was just feeling it for coolness." And
the last one was the cold one.
Yeah, that one just came off the ice.
Yeah. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Because you got to know that some countries go into the Olympics knowing, like, the person knows that they're probably not going to win.
That's not the point.
But they want to compete and do the best that they can.
They are chosen to represent their country. I mean, the honor in that is you are representing your country.
Yeah. I mean, I would go run a 26-mile marathon for Canada. I couldn't do it. I would do it for Canada if they needed me to.
You mean you would try?
I would walk a bunch.
Can you guys get a cart or something?
Yeah, I would walk.
My feet hurt.
Yeah, I'd be like, I could do. Everybody's too fat. I'm gonna walk a bit.
Where's the oranges?
And stuff at the water stations. If a guy ran by and did all the knockdown, I'd be the guy who's like, "Hey, do you need help with that? I'll
Right.
Let's
Sorry.
just pick some of these. Can I grab the two? Can
Yeah,
I do
right.
with them?"
So that was rather.
But don't tell me that if the United States called you up and said, "Derek, you're the only one that we can get to run this marathon for us."
Well, there's obviously problems with this world. If I'm the only one, I can't run a
It
marathon.
could be a scam, but maybe they want your expertise.
In running, I don't run. You see me skate. I can't even skate. Yeah, and I fully believe that he shouldn't even be allowed to compete in the next Olympics.
No, I don't think you should be allowed to compete in anything.
Like any type. I mean,
You shouldn't win by doing something horrible.
right.
And if you do something even small, it shows that you're not in the right state. Like that's why, like when I try to teach kids when I'm teaching them hockey, is when you go to hit somebody, you're not trying to end their career. You're just trying to knock them off the puck.
Move them,
And
slow them down a little bit.
Do you want to do the big hits? Of course, kids want to do the big hits. Like NHL players do big hits.
Yeah, but how many times does the big hits happen, and sometimes the guy laying the big hit is the one who's injured?
Yeah.
Like you when you're doing that, you not only have a chance of ending his career, but your own as well. In the United States, we're big into football. One of the biggest things now is heads up football because people would lower their head before contact, and they break their necks.
I know, and a big thing that they put in for hockey was the onus is on the person making the hit for anything that happens. Even if you didn't mean to,
right,
and you hit somebody and they broke their arm or they slammed their head and get a concussion, the penalty goes to the person that did the hit,
right,
no matter what. Because you could, like if I'm coming in and this is different if you're like a beginner, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not allowed to hit at beginner level.
right.
But at the level that I'm at, I know when I'm going to hit somebody if he knows it's coming, right? And if he doesn't know it's coming, I can still hit him, but I can lay it back, and I don't have to end his day.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for it. I mean, for the most part, and just full on. Don't get me wrong. I played. I've been on the receiving end of that. My head's the wrong way, and just get flattened by a guy doing full tilt down the field, and I wasn't looking where I was supposed to, and holy cow! And we teach the young kids in hockey, you always got to keep your head up because little kids and adults, and this is the best part about teaching adults, they're like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds on the ice. They really are.
It's so true.
They're the same because they are so puck locked. Like their face is locked down on the ice. They're not looking where they're going. They're watching the puck on their stick because you want to make sure it doesn't come off. I can't tell you how many times in practice you see kids collide. Just boom. Because they're not looking up.
How many times has my wife been smoked?
Oh,
She likes to get into the fray of it, but then when you've got two beginners both looking down at the puck,
and it never ends well.
No.
I've been on that end a couple times, but the bonus is I'm a bit bigger, and so when I do collide, I don't go down normally. I did collide with Charlie a couple times this year. That's a lot of guy.
Yeah.
Charlie's a bit bigger, and your wife knows this as well as anybody.
He spun her like a top.
Yeah. Well, and she did it to Robert too. I mean, who's also a big guy. He's a goalie, but he's big, like me.
Yeah.
And that one, yeah.
Well, it's tough because you want to be aggressive, you want to get the puck, but
you're never looking at what's ahead of you. You're lasered in on that little black disc that's on the ground, and you're not paying attention to what's around you.
It's happened to me too. I can't say that I'm
immune from it. No.
Where I'm going to get that, and then two people slam it.
There is, because you've played so long, and I knew this. People and most athletes know this in sports they competed in. They have that field awareness.
Yeah.
Like when somebody's around you.
Yeah, I know when I'm playing beginner, nobody's there.
But when you go out and play like your speed league or high rec league, you've got no time.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, I've got this, and I've got to do something with it. So that's a very interesting one.
Like how we can go from one topic right to another.
We're good at it, right? We flow.
Well, it all does kind of combine together.
Right. So, but yeah, that's us in a nutshell. Are you being yelled at because we're talking about hockey?
Somebody asked if they wanted them to hit me, and I'm about to respond back and say, "You'd have a bad day."
Oh, don't hit me. Here's the thing: you're getting to that the penalty and how bad sportsmanship to knock off the waters in hockey. It's also a penalty to snow the goaltenders before you shoot the puck at them.
Oh no! It's only a penalty if I don't have the puck and I do it.
Right.
If I have the puck, I'm doing it this year to you. I'm going to snow your face so much and then put it between your legs, just to have you be like, you can't do that.
What if we don't have refs? It wouldn't make a difference.
I know. I just want to do it because it's shoot. I
I
wouldn't do it to any other goal.
You snow me while I'm stretching out.
Yeah, but that's different. That's before the game started, and I'm usually on your team.
I know.
Or I scare you. I don't always do. I go in like I'm good.
You don't scare me.
Oh man,
You know why I'm not scared of you? Like when I got two beginners coming at me full tilt and a guy on a breakaway and a guy chasing him, I almost just want to get out of the net because I know for a fact he's either A, can't stop, and he's going to either blow through me, or he's going to just miss the net and slam into which is usually what happens. They usually slam into the boards and fall over. My biggest fear is being taken out in the net because
But you had no fear to charge me and make me jump over top of you.
No.
Because I didn't want to hurt you.
And guess what? Who got hurt?
Yeah, because I didn't want to hurt you because you're a beginner.
Exactly.
If it was Thomas,
I charged out to Charlie this year, and what happened? Ouch. He didn't get out of the way.
It's because he can't.
I know. I may have learned a very valuable lesson that day.
I'm gonna remember that.
You don't scare me in that on it like when you're on defense and you're on my team. I'm like I'll put my arms across the crossbar.
Depends.
And when you're chasing down a guy, no, I know. I see the look in your eye like, oh, he doesn't want to get beat this time. But then I look up and I see Andy, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna let him shoot. Such a nice guy because he's at a bad angle.
Well, I always felt I hated, when I was a kid, I hated it when grown-ups would make it easy. I liked it when they made it a bit of a challenge, but make it so that you just always win.
Right.
So when I'm teaching beginners, I'm gonna play the position properly because if I was playing it wrong, anybody that's watching to mimic me is gonna play it wrong.
Right.
They're gonna be like, oh well, Barry went over here, but he went through why did he let him go through? There must be a good reason. No, that's a bad.
You don't let anyone in the middle. If you're a defenseman.
So I'm afraid to do that. When I'm playing with you guys, I'm gonna back off a little bit and let them shoot from the bad end.
I can just read your body language. I'm like, oh, he's gonna let him shoot. Such a nice guy.
I know.
Dang it, they scored. Barry should have played better, D.
Listen, people, listen to some music.
Oh, wow.
We've been talking a whole lot here. What have we got?
Something.
I don't even know. Let's just put it on.
Guns N' Roses is releasing their first new song in 13 years. I don't know if that's news or not. Although it is weird to see Axl Rose and Slash on the same stage, considering they hated each other for so long.
Huh.
He didn't age well.
Most people that were high all the time and did a lot of drugs don't age too well.
Yeah, Axl doesn't look too healthy. By the way, that French runner who did that is a dick. Oh! But we're not on the air.
I know.
Maybe it's Dave.
KNC 9.1 FM. This is the average rants.
Who called you? He's on the phone.
You want us to play that? I'll throw that on the radio.
I don't know who he's talking to or what he's talking about. See if we can find something else to talk about.
All right. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the call. All right, bye.
Another happy listener.
Yeah, he's like, man, I did radio around this country for like 30 years. You guys are the fucking best thing on the radio. Like, I listen to you guys all the time. He's like, you give me a hoot. He's like, after all this hockey talk, though, you guys should be playing Ride the Zamboni.
I want to ride a Zamboni. Yep.
No, and he was talking about how they had one of the old turntables in their car.
Oh.
He's like, so when did we get going? You'd be bouncing around.
Yeah, the old record players.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Ooh, I got some news my wife will like. For any Yellowstone fans out there, I should leave this for the radio, though. They're doing a prequel.
Yellowstone.
It's a TV series
About
on...
the park?
Kinda.
Okay.
About prequel to the show Yellowstone. But they have got Sam Elliott and Tim McGraw and Faith Hill to play in it. This is going to take place in the 1883.
Huh.
So back
I
before...
like Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
What about Sam Elliott, man? That mustache. I mean, he shaved it off for a couple movies, like Roadhouse, one of his best movies. Right?
No way.
No way, what?
I love this song.
You would.
What is love?
No, because it's because of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Like Night at the Roxbury.
But you don't like that movie because Will Ferrell's in it.
It's actually one of the few movies I watched all the way through with him in it.
We found one, Sammy.
Doesn't mean I like it.
Yeah, you did.
Mm,
So you wouldn't do that with me? You wouldn't rock out to a song in the car?
I broke the window again.
And then, like, when I'm doing this, you're beside going like...
I do. But it was a show my wife was watching before you guys came over. Was Yellowstone.
okay.
So from what I've seen, I've never actually sat down and watched more than a couple episodes at a time. So I get completely lost about what's going on. But Kevin Costner is apparently the head of this big ranch family down in southern Montana, down by the Yellowstone border. And this is from my perspective, because I catch like one episode or two episodes a season. It's like a mafia kind of deal with his family. They own and run everything, including they got their fingers in the government and all that stuff. So it's kind of crazy. One of the episodes I saw today, these bikers on their way to Sturgis were on their ranch, and they're like, well, you can't be here, it's private property, and so you got to leave. And so these biker dudes started throwing down. Dude in the truck mows down their bikes, and so it gets real, right? And then you can't pick a fight with ranchers, dude. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
And then they threaten them, like, you come back here, we're going to bury you on this ranch. Well, it doesn't take a genius to see what scenes next, right? The California guys, they leave. They come back, and they're going to burn the ranch down. Well, there's Kevin Costner, because Kevin Costner's the man, right? In his chair with a lever-action Winchester. And these California bikers are like, talking smack. And he's like, you remember what they told you, right? We're going to bury you. And all of a sudden you see lights. And these bikers like, oh, man. And they've got guns pointed on them from all around. Because Costner throws like 5 shovels at him. Start digging. You got them digging their own graves.
Ugh.
Like, this dude is pissing his pants. He's terrified. And then he's like, you can stop digging now. And the lead biker dude's like, gonna climb out. And then one of the guys like, we didn't tell you to get out of the hole. Costner's like, there's no need to get out of that hole. Like, what?
I never understood those situations.
He lets him go, but I mean, it's just like, he's like, you're gonna go back to California. You're never gonna come back. He's like, I'm never coming back. Like, just it's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty dark. Although, if I was ever in the situation where somebody's like, here's a shovel, dig your own grave, I'd be like, no.
Well, I mean, they had guns on him. Like, in a life situation where that this guy's serious, he's going to shoot you.
Yeah, no matter what.
Right?
So why would I dig my own grave?
Right?
I'd be like, come on, let's go.
You're going to sweat it out digging my grave.
Yeah. If I'm dying, you're working. Or somebody here.
Somebody's digging a hole, but it ain't me.
They'd be like, "Why is this guy seems too calm?"
Right.
Like, no,
But-
I'm at it.
Yeah. It's a fun show from what I've seen. I mean, I've got such there's a lot of TV to watch, and I don't need an excuse to watch any more TV. I probably watch too much TV as it is.
You see, I'm the opposite. I don't watch TV. I play games.
I do like to play games, but it I don't know. I just kind of.
I mean, after
Don't
this,
much.
you do realize we're going back to my place quick so I can check on my 3D print.
All right.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I've been having some issues with this one, but I think I fixed it.
You've been saying that since you bought the thing.
I know, but this one, it was weird. It was the first time that it's ever just been pulling off my bed too consistently.
Oh, you didn't try the tape method?
I did
The
the
glue stick?
glue. I glued glue stick, and even that wasn't working. So what I did was I completely washed everything and then glue sticked it again, and it seems to be working.
Nice. There you go. Baby, don't hurt me. Yeah,
Yeah, I got you on the radio.
I know you did.
That's crazy. Who knew that Derek
I
had the
can't.
voice of an angel?
I am terrible. Oh man.
I want to give a shout out to a caller who came in and told us about the old record in the car bouncing around.
The record player in the car. Like I never actually seen one in real life. I just know that they existed.
That'd be crazy. Like I remember CDs having the 45-second skip, and that still wasn't enough to
Right.
stop it from skipping. Or if you couldn't afford one of those, the 15-second skip that you might as well just throw the thing against a wall. You had to like sit on a table, and you couldn't even shake your leg.
Yeah. So I mean,
But no, we like getting callers here and getting to know that people actually listen to our crazy rants.
right? Speaking of crazy, this is insane. Do you like Chinese food? I like Chinese food. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm a big fan. All right.
Now, do we call it Oriental
What?
food, or is that a bit, non-PC to be? I don't know.
Cantonese food, Chinese food, whatever. I don't care. I like it's food. It's Vietnamese. This one's a Vietnamese restaurant, right?
Okay.
During the dark lockdown days of the COVID-19 pandemic this last summer, one San Francisco restaurant daringly added a $72 fried rice to their menu.
Was it amazing?
It had better. See, now, and from my understanding, and your wife would know us better than most of us, but Chinese food, Cantonese food, Vietnamese food, the reason it can't cost, it's one of the better businesses because it's so cheap to make. Rice is extremely cheap, right?
That's why it's found in like low income
Yeah, right.
places, or like
What?
China has it because there's so many people.
What are you putting into this fried rice to make it $72?
MSG.
Helps you live longer, preserves the organs from the inside,
It makes you not full.
right? Well, and that's the thing. Like we've all eaten Chinese food or rice, and you're like, man, I'm so full. But like an hour later, after that rice has come back down after being swollen up from all the fluid in it, man, I'm kind of hungry again. I'm gonna go finish off that fried rice I got.
That's why
in the
I'm
fridge.
going to give everybody a tip. MSG is, I believe it's illegal to have in food now.
Right.
Because it does, it makes you feel fuller. So like they would put it in buffets so you wouldn't eat as much at them.
Right.
But if you're going to go to a buffet, and I've perfected this art, go at the start, eat to your fill. Don't leave. Wait a while
So
you can get another plate.
the premise was to let's do something over the top and crazy, said the chef of this Vietnamese restaurant.
All right.
He said it was meant as a joke, a way to get some attention for the restaurant during a difficult time. Not probably the way you want to get attention, like putting a $72 fried rice on your menu. Like, I mean, fine dining doesn't charge that much for fried rice. But the fried rice included fired jasmine rice with king crab claws, caviar, wagyu. Okay, now I'm starting to figure out why it was $72.
So it's like all the prime
Right,
stuff.
wagyu beef, butter made from the stock of multiple crabs, rock shrimp, egg yolks, uni, which is a sea urchin roe, and black truffle trimmings.
Not gonna lie, that sounds disgusting.
It does. Like I don't. And here's a picture of it. It doesn't even look good.
Oh, I gotta see.
I mean, the cooked eggs aren't cooked. I mean, but those are sunny side up eggs, and I don't eat eggs. I like eggs.
It looks like rice that a frog laid a lot of stuff in.
Yeah.
And then the frog decided, I'm just gonna keel over.
Now, I've never experienced Wagyu beef because I'm poor, and I could never afford a steak like that.
Isn't that what you're cooking us?
No, those are porterhouses, buddy, and those are going to be amazing. Yeah, buddy. The wives wanted chicken, and we're going porterhouse.
Yeah, I never get steak because I always have to cook chicken.
You could cook yourself a steak and cook your wife chicken.
It's easier because you get a big package.
Right, I get it.
So it's easier just to cook.
And here's the thing, and I love to cook. My wife loves to cook. We cook all the time. You know this as well as anybody because we feed you a couple times a week. Dig it. We usually buy chicken thighs for the simple fact that not only are they cheap, but they are actually one of the better cuts off the chicken because of the flavor. You get more flavor out of chicken thighs, and they don't dry out as bad as the breasts do.
I just like food. You're
right.
talking like mumbo jumbo.
I know. But
all I heard was eat more food.
Apparently, at least one person's listening, though. So, because he called and said, we're awesome. So, you must not listen very well. But honestly, if you want, if you're going to use chicken in a recipe, stay away from the breasts. Go to the thighs. They have a little more fat content, better flavor.
I mean,
if you're putting them in
there's
soups
more
and
to hold
stuff,
on to.
right? The thighs. And they're delicious. We have boneless thighs tonight, but I did them the other night and they were really good. So
It sounds delicious.
yeah. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Oh, and we're making some broccoli casserole.
I've never had it, but I like broccoli.
I like it. It's one of my favorite.
I have always been growing up. You always seen the shows, the TV movies and TV shows, and like broccoli is disgusting. Who doesn't like broccoli? And then Brussels sprouts are terrible. Well, you grow up seeing all this stuff on TV, and you never want to try it because you're like, people say it's awful. But let's face it, I like broccoli. Like,
well, I mean, my daughter,
your broccoli orders pancakes and broccoli for breakfast. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's not a joke, people. I was sitting at a Perkins this year with his family, and she's like, she ordered.
She ate the broccoli, didn't eat the.
Yeah, she's like, I want
with like the whipped cream on.
Whipped cream and candy, people. She's like, I want broccoli.
Yeah,
and pancakes.
I had to eat her pancake.
You look tortured to eat the pancake.
I did. I was going to eat any food that was not wanting to be eaten that day.
Right. Broccoli for breakfast.
No. We're raising her right.
Right. Like, I mean, I've heard of broccoli going into omelets and stuff, but never done this as what would you like aside for your pancake? Sausage, bacon? I'd like a steamed broccoli, please.
Remember Sammy asked in the waiter, can you guys do broccoli? Yeah. She looked very confused.
It's 9 a.m. But we can. The kid wants what she wants. And it's not like she's asking for candy for dinner, like, or ice cream for dinner. I'm like, it was just one of those weird things. They're like, she's going the broccoli route.
Yeah.
Both my kids like vegetables though, so one more than the other. I tried to convince them both that guacamole or that avocados were poisonous, but they tried it and decided I was full of it.
Yeah, you kind of are.
A little bit, because can't stand avocado.
No, I remember the way that my dad got me to eat like Brussels sprouts and asparagus.
Bacon.
Well, no, he told me, he's like, don't eat too much of that. Your peel smell funny. So I was like, I want to see if this.
It works too, doesn't it? It is true. Asparagus especially. Yeah. That's one of those fun experiments.
There, we've got a challenge for everybody listening. Yep. Just go out and buy I don't know, what do you call it? A bunch?
A bunch of asparagus spears. Eat that bunch.
To cook them. And I mean, they are fantastic if you just put some olive oil down, spring some. We use salt and pepper.
We use Alpine Touch, which is a mixture of like salt, pepper.
Well, that's that Montana.
Yeah, Montana Alpine's Touch, and you just cover that, a good coating of that. It's got onion powder, garlic powder.
You wrap it in bacon.
Oh.
And you can take 3 stalks. You can wrap it in bacon, and then you cook
or
it.
Prosciutto, if you like, that little.
We're losing viewers because they're going to cook.
Right. You guys writing this down? Write it down. It's amazing.
I did this for I was having a game night with friends there, Scott, and we did that. We wrapped them. They're all gone.
Oh yeah.
They were so good. And, but yeah, your pig smells funny.
Yeah, very funny. I get this look all the time, like because I have a Komodo grill, which is an egg. For those of you who don't know what a Komodo is, it's just like a big green egg. But I bake cookies on it. And one of the first cookie recipes I did was the chocolate chip bacon cookies. And they're like, bacon?
Oh yeah, I remember you making those.
And you ate them.
That's a bad idea. Those were horrible.
Yeah.
Like you can't make those
because you can't stop.
I ate so many. I couldn't stop. I was at your house and I was standing there, just grabbing them, and then you're like, "You like those, don't you?" I'm like, "I don't even know how many I've eaten." I just
yeah, because they are chocolate chip, basic chocolate chip, but I put bacon in them, and then on the top I put a bit of coarse sea salt, just for that salty, sweet chocolate, and then you get the. And I said it before I left the house. How do you get somebody to eat something? Bacon. Like if you put bacon on it, it's gonna like because you were talking about putting bacon, broccoli bacon soup into that casserole.
Man, I think we're hungry.
We're starving. Like I don't eat. Can you guys tell I don't eat? I mean, look at the moobs.
Yeah, your moobs are better than mine.
Yeah, they're growing.
No, hockey season's coming up.
I got to start doing something.
Well, I mean, it's a nice day. We can go back. I can shoot pucks at you.
It's cool out. It is. My garage is full of crap right now, so that wouldn't work.
We'll just go outside on the street.
Ow. That would ruin my pads.
Oh, we can bring your sliding stuff.
My slide board. Yeah.
And then I'm pretty accurate.
How many cars do you think we'd take out?
They can go around.
No, I mean off my pads.
Oh, 2?
Mine, yours. For those of you who don't know, I do get in my goalie gear on occasion, and Barry shoots pucks at me in my garage.
Yep, it's the only way to make them better.
There's a video. Did you post it?
I didn't post it on our Facebook though.
But if you go to our YouTube page, he posted it. My wife is a sniper.
Yeah, I
hit a target that small, that consistently.
The best part of that was I was filming it, and the way that my phone worked was it just starts doing slow motion after a certain point. So I was trying to figure out what her shot was looking like. It wasn't about anything else. We were trying to see what her shot looked like. And the first shot went off, and then when she went to do the second shot, it hit the slow motion part. And that's when Derek made a save with the part of his body that you probably don't want to.
It didn't go in.
But
and I covered.
I might have tapped it in. I might have had time to tap it in.
I covered.
There was a delay. The video, you go, oh
yeah,
and then slowly fall down.
Now the thing is, that wasn't the first one.
No, she did that a couple times.
Yeah, that was the second time.
You must have made her mad.
Oh, she's a sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's a small target. She rung the bell. And we get into this thing like, you know, how you just said a little while ago, you do not like to do things wrong. You try harder, even with the beginners, right? You don't want to let them win every time. Well, you know my wife, Amanda, she's extremely competitive, right?
What?
Right?
No, she hasn't tried to stab
So we like to play on the same team at hockey, but there are nights where she wants to be on the other team. And everybody asks me, do you let your wife get goals? I'm like, are you kidding me?
She'll hang that over you for days.
No, she would kill me if I let her score.
That too, yeah.
Like, because she would know. So I don't
think I've let Sandy get by me. No?
I've seen your wife put you into the boards, though.
Okay, she hit me from behind, and I was being stupid.
You went into the boards, buddy.
I was sticking my butt out at her, trying to be all.
Yeah, and how'd that work out?
She cross-checked me in the back of the head and slammed me into the boards.
And in adult league hockey, when it comes to spouses, no penalties are called.
Oh, yeah. Both benches were cheering when she hit me from behind.
We just saw nothing.
Yeah. I was like, that might have been a penalty. What would have been?
What penalty? Yeah, we do not call those types of penalties.
Yeah.
We let the spouses work it out. So if you and your spouse are looking for something to do in the wintertime, come try hockey.
Yeah.
We'll get you in gear. We'll do it for free.
No judgment.
None.
Oh, we're getting messages from our wives.
It was a clean hit. Yep.
I can't say that word.
Nope.
It's a clean hit.
It was clean. From my angle, which was from the net, looking right at you, it was perfectly clean.
Yeah,
Like,
I bet.
Perfectly clean. Like, she didn't miss at all. The back of the stick hit you cleanly in the back of the head. And her skate wrapped around your feet. And boop, boom.
I did not expect that at all. I thought she was going to come in and maybe hit me in the bum with
I've seen you fall twice in my entire 2 or 3 years of playing hockey with you. That was one, and the other time you acted like you fell and turned.
I'm coming back. I'm going to come back, and people are going to be like, he's gotten a little bit better.
He's going to be able to play high rec one of these
Yeah.
days. But, oh, with the nice cool, that's what the cool weather's like reminding me. It's like, oh, I can't wait for hockey season, right?
Yeah.
And oh, it's a great workout and it's great people. Like, I've met so many awesome people playing hockey.
If it wasn't for hockey, I wouldn't know anybody in this town.
You wouldn't know me.
No. But I mean, it was my way when I moved here. I needed something because, let's be honest, I'm Canadian, so I don't have much.
Yeah,
in
I
common.
forget that I almost have to forget that.
But I don't have a lot of common with people, and hockey is like one of my.
We have
things.
nothing in common. You
We
and I.
do, but that's just because I feel like the more we hang out, the more I hear my Canadian coming out of you. Like when we were working on this bathroom listening to Bryan Adams.
Together.
Yeah.
Who likes Bryan Adams?
It's singing.
Right?
And then you were at what was it? We were doing like, oh hey, buddy.
Hey, yeah, hey.
Oh yeah. Let's get her done. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There was a few choice words in there that we can't say live on the radio, but
Yeah, everybody knows.
because you can't cut straight.
Okay, I cut that exactly the way it needed to be done.
Yeah, I had to fill it in with caulk.
Yep. Man, we had caulk everywhere.
It was a nightmare.
It was. I was taught by a very knowledgeable person, any mistake can be fixed with some nice caulk.
No response needed. So get her done. So yeah,
Moving on from the caulk.
never.
Never.
Right.
Got any more stories for us?
Hey, nothing. This is why oh my gosh, winter storm. Where?
We don't have a winter storm coming, do we?
Oh, in New Zealand of all places.
Oh,
Does it snow in New Zealand?
it does now.
Isn't New Zealand down by Australia?
Do I need to pull up a map?
Probably. Like, how often does it snow in New Zealand?
Well, you gotta check it out. It is.
Okay, I get it. It could snow now. Okay, it's pretty far. Like, you see, we're in the northern hemisphere here, so my brain's backwards. Like, where's New Zealand on that one?
It's right there.
Oh yeah, see, so it's a bit
I
south.
believe it's one of the places that's, I don't know, Argentina would be closer to.
Antarctica.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, when someone says, "What are you looking at?"
I just saw that
Did you find the Nazi base on Antarctica?
there's a station.
Yeah.
And it has a picture.
Well, people don't live there. I mean, they go there once in a while.
They don't live there. There's clearly vehicles.
Yeah, they found
They found the Nazi base.
the Nazi base.
Yeah.
Have you ever Google Earth thing just to see things from the sky? You've Google Earth your house, right?
We saw the Google Earth van go by once, and we started being like, and then for like months, we were checking that location to see if we got it on there.
Oh, yeah.
We did not.
You did not? It's a bummer. But it snowed in New Zealand. Yeah. When I think New Zealand, I think of rainforest and hot and wet and muggy.
Yeah. Well, that's just, that's like the Iceland. People always assume that was the place covered.
That place is on fire.
Yeah. It's,
Literally, it's a
nice
giant
green.
volcano.
And, they did that to trick people so that they would leave their little small...
In Greenland? Who named that?
They did that so that people wouldn't go to Iceland and they'd go to Greenland and they'd be like, why? This is not green.
Not at all.
This is white land. White snow. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do we want to let people listen to music, or did you find something?
A guy, wow, that guy with the world record for consuming 30,000 Big Macs.
Okay, he's just still been eating them one a day, right?
Yeah. Like, okay, I'll be the first to admit it. As a kid, McDonald's was on the top of, we gotta go to McDonald's. As a kid, right? We didn't get it very often, but when we got it, we're like, we're getting McDonald's. And now my kid's like, can we have McDonald's? I'm like, oh, gross. Like, I get in the drive-thru and I smell and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, you know what that is? It's called dedication. It's got to take a lot. And I mean, what is a burger? Like, if you were just getting the burger, that's like what, $5?
I have no idea what a Big Mac costs.
Probably like about $5, I'd say.
Something.
$5. So how many has he eaten?
Over 30,000 of them.
Over 30,000, and I can't do math in my head. So 30,000 times 5 would be $150,000 that he has done to get in the Guinness Book of World Records.
He's rocking a pretty sweet hairstyle, though.
But I don't know. So when I did this radio show kind of solo back in the day, I don't know if you remembered my beef with the Guinness Book of World Records. Because it's literally records that are the stupidest things I've ever heard of. It used to be kind of cool where it'd be like, you know, a guy who could do the most front flips on a trampoline before
Physical records that require some type of effort.
And now it's literally like, so if we're sitting here right now, be like, all right, look at all these posters on the wall. If we rip them all off in 10 seconds, if nobody's got that record yet, we have a Guinness Book of World Record.
Let's do it and be filmed too. Or we need the records guy here to watch us do it.
Or like we'll just have a bunch of people stand in a row and we'll rip their shirts. We'll get the shirt ripper Guinness Book of World Record. Like that's what I hate about it. Like, how many cold calls can you do in a day? Well, the telemarketers get that. Freaking things.
Yeah,
What?
I'm still can't imagine eating those every day.
Well, imagine what. Like, I feel like.
Well, yeah, and you could keep his pace easy because he does one a day every day.
Yeah.
365 days a year, except for the leap year. Let's not rant on that. That's stupid. What do you mean? Well, we just erase a day every 4 years and it makes things work out better. What do you mean you erase a day? No, we just take it off the calendar. It doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I feel like when I can finally work down here again, my first job, after a week of being there, I'm not going to show up one day. They were like, what happened? I was like, well, I decided to add a day to my weekend.
We're going to a 3-day weekend, not 2.
Yeah. I called it Febter Day.
Right. And well, how long did you go in life before realizing that Sunday was actually the first day of the week?
Right? Yeah.
Like everybody's like, Monday's the first. No, it's not. It's day 2.
Yeah.
You're 1 day in, man. So technically Saturday's the last day of the week.
That's why I only get 1 day off a week. That still wouldn't work out because you'd still get 2.
Right.
In case anybody wants to do math with me.
His math is amazing.
I got an A in math.
See me after class. Yeah, so.
I would like to talk to that guy and just ask, and this is probably going to sound gross, but just, how's his stool doing if he eats one of those a day?
Like, my stomach gets upset when my daughter eats it. Like, I don't want
thinking about it makes my tummy be like, no, you're supposed to have a steak tonight.
Like, and then your kid doesn't finish. You're like, oh, I'm going to nope.
Garbage.
I don't throw food away. I throw that away. I mean, it's nothing against people who eat McDonald's, just the way I feel.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of fast food. It doesn't matter what it is.
It tastes so processed. Like, you can taste it. It's
like for me, if I had to choose a fast food restaurant that I would eat at, it's Taco Bell. But every time I go to do it, and you know this, my first response is, "You guys better be ready."
Because I'm going. Where are you going? I'll be right back.
That like before the hockey tournament, before we had a game.
You wanted Taco Bell before we played our
Yeah.
first game in a tournament. I'm like, why?
Do you know how much faster I skate when I have to go to the bathroom?
to the door.
Well, I've done it where I played a shift and then I jumped off the ice and went to the bathroom.
We got
and came back.
this. This is a fun one. We got to get away from McDonald's because this involves Robin Hood and nudists.
Oh,
Juicy, right?
Can we do this one over here?
Yeah. Merry nudists disturb visitors in Robin Hood's Sherwood Forest. Regular visitors to England's Sherwood Forest have been angered by the sight of naked men in the woods, made famous by the legend of Robin Hood. This is us.
We'd be naked in the woods. We're married men.
We're being merry. It's no longer bands of merry men with bows and arrows that are likely to frighten visitors in England's Sherwood Forest, but rather groups of nude ones. Apparently, nudists have started walking around in Sherwood, sometimes in groups of up to 12.
I wonder if any of them
Men, this just goes to show that women are not going to do this. They're like, you guys are dumb. Like, you guys are like every guy who's ever had a girlfriend, wife, whatever, spouse has gotten the, oh my God, you're an idiot look from their wife. Like, and they don't say anything. They just give you that look.
I think I get that daily.
More than once.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Because this is something like you and I are going like, dude.
Well, like I think it happened today where I was like, you gotta come see this. And we're going, and I'm taking her downstairs. She's like, is this for your stupid mini that you're printing? And I was like, yeah.
She actually said something.
Yeah.
But they have a organized petition in protest at the practice. He said his wife had stopped her regular jogs through the forest after an encounter with a naked man that she found particularly disturbing.
Oh, it would have been so better if she said particularly Mary.
Right. Apparently, there is no need to walk about naked. Clothes do not stop you from enjoying the forest. But I feel way more free.
Yeah.
Bit drafty, though.
Like, who needs underwear that cups and makes it breathable when you could just go with nothing?
Right? Naturalists, naturists, that's what they're calling them now instead of nudists, are in fact tolerated and allowed in parts of the largest Sherwood Forest region, though they are encouraged to stay away from the most visited areas. I mean,
I've never had an urge to go to a nudist anything. Like when we lived in Vancouver, there's a nudist beach that you could go to, and it's right by the hospital. I think it was UBC Hospital, and I never wanted to go there because first off, why?
So, personally, and I imagine this is what you're trying to say, is like, you have nothing against people who go to nude beaches. I don't. I'm like, have a ball. I'm not going.
Well, I just feel like you go there and you either stare or get grossed out.
Well, and the thing here is that, like, I think it's for more people who are just really comfortable in who they are, and they just.
I'm comfortable with who I am. I mean, I'll walk around, but I know nobody wants to see that.
No, I don't.
Like, I mean, every light has to be off in my house when I change.
Because it's glowing in here. No, I get it. Like, there are people who like to express themselves, and that's great. I won't be there with you. Now, the way that started out to me, though, is something that you and I would do. Like we were 21 again. Not
I like how you're saying it like I wouldn't do something now.
Nude?
Yeah. What do I got to lose?
Nothing. You have no dignity. Neither
Right.
do I.
And I bet you we could bring Charlie back. He'd go. He'd be all for it.
Dude, seriously, Charlie, you need to get some new undergarments.
He's got that hold of his bits.
Your bits are going to hang out your pants, bro. And if you get too close to the ice, those puppies might stick.
Maybe we should all pitch in and we'll just buy the new red onesie.
I think some pants without a hole in them would be just as good.
Yeah, but he wants the red onesie. He's not gonna.
He can keep his onesie. We'll just give him some new actual hockey pants.
Because nobody wants the patch.
Because those are ripped too.
Oh yeah.
It's like why?
Well, it's because it's the stuff that he got from borrowing.
Yeah.
Back before we kept track.
Right. He's dedicated though. He's wearing it until it falls off, and he don't care.
Man, the stuff that he says to guys on the ice.
Did you repeat any of it?
I can't.
No, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Did it work?
It's pretty funny.
Did it work?
Yeah. It's
There you go.
with people.
But yeah. No, I could totally see us doing something like that. Maybe not so much now, but
Well, I would probably do it, but when people would be like, "Oh my goodness, you're nude," I'd be like, "No, I have a Robin Hood hat on." Come on.
where you're not wearing a hat? Oh my god!
I wasn't even thinking like that. It's pretty bad. He's got a bow and arrow.
He's married. Okay, that's enough.
We're on the radio. There's children listening, Derek.
No, there's not.
There could be with people making.
How many people do you know that actually own an FM radio?
Well, I do.
You don't count. You know yourself.
You do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, when we bring it over.
Actually, my wife's old stereo that she had in high school that we still have, that has FM radio.
Old people driving around, and in my garage there was one left. Man, we're almost getting to the end of our time. I didn't even realize what time it was.
Dinner time.
I get so enthralled
With nude Robin Hood men?
well, just all of our conversation, and I just want everyone to hear what two average guys talk about. They'll probably sit there being like, no, that's just you guys. But I hope that when we talk about some of this stuff, it makes people, really just go back and be like, would I do that? Bring out the youth in us again.
I can't, like, I used to, I can't anymore. My liver won't let me do it anymore. Like, let's go drink some beers and have a good time. I'm like, I'm down to like 3 beers, and my liver's like, dude, you're going to take a nap.
Unless we're golfing, you apparently can pull back a little bit more while that's happening.
Well, it's hot, man. Just dehydrated. I sweat that beer out.
Yeah, we don't have much more time left. We got to get 18 done.
Yeah, but the weather's cooling off, so that would be a little bit easier.
I'm just saying.
Can you imagine trying to do 18 holes when it's 95 degrees outside? I plan on getting a cart anyway because that's a lot of walking. We walk almost always when we do 9, but 18,
Mm-hmm.
I think by the time I get to hole 10 or 12, I'll be like, dude, why didn't we get a cart?
Well, we could get carts and we could attach coolers to the side.
There you go.
But I think that about does it for us this week.
Does it?
It does. So, I'd like to thank you for listening to Average Rants here at KNMC
90.1
FM.
Hey, you got really low there. Was that your Batman voice?
My Batman voice?
We all have it.
Yeah, everybody's got the Batman voice.
You gotta clench your teeth real tight.
I never understood. I just said we're going to leave, but
we're ranting again.
Yeah, it's what I never understood how that. If I was going to be saved, if somebody came down to bat and was like, "Don't worry, I'm here to save you," I'd be like, "Get out of my face,
dude! Did you smoke a pack of marbles?
What did you say?"
Got one for me?
All right. Well, don't forget that you can also find us on YouTube and Facebook with the same name of Average Rants. Sign it in.
Sign out. Over and out.